4 left, and how great is this lineup?
Actually,
2010 World Series of Poker champion Phil Hellmuth with 13 bracelets. These are 2 legends of the game, and the guy who's the biggest winner in the history of the internet.
Yeah.
Banging heads.
And the best heads-up player agreed by, I think, all humans. I mean, I don't know anyone's. Jungle has said I'll play anyone in the world heads up, and no one really's taking him up on it. You know. Four-handed, this should look like pocket aces.
It looks like a good hand, doesn't it?
Sure
looks like a hand where he's trapping here.
And he's going to call. He's not going to raise. It's Helmut's style to just call this.
Stone cold feel like I have you trapped here. Now I'm starting to wonder.
Hey, that's the move again.
Yes.
That's the
I guess you
move.
have me.
Right.
It's just one of those weird hands. I was like, I need to trap him. I check to you, Daniel.
Yeah, I want to take a look.
All right, I don't blame you. Might as well take a look.
I'm only at 67%.
He's waving like a lunatic. He's so good.
Now he's going to check call or
Check.
Yeah.
6 check.
He did. He got the shutdown. He blocked
He did.
He's checking in the dark.
I check again.
5 check.
King Queen still beats him. Check. Now. Oh, I thought he had a flush draw. No, Negreanu.
Can't help it. I have to bet some.
Oh, it's all over a bet.
5 bet. 20,000.
He made a full house.
The 9 came there. He has like a.
Daniel plays the board, but so do a lot of
Jungle
hands.
has reached out and stolen these kind of pots. Will Daniel reach out and steal it?
Wow.
He knows that he can't have an ace. He wouldn't have done all this checking.
Wow.
Oh, I love this play. This is so sick. The gut feel is to insta-fold because it's bluff or ace. There's only those 2 choices, really. Bluff or maybe ace king. But
And Helmut folded instantly with the full house.
140.
that's why you can
The
check.
full house.
Those pots you can check and call. Wow. Oh, he's tilted.
Roughly 12,000 in chips. And suited 10-5 for Raymer.
And he's going to continue his aggressive play. He raises to 3,600.
Negreanu also with hearts, Jack 7.
36, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And he calls.
6.
Flop is King, Jack, Deuce. A pair of jacks for Negreanu.
And no hearts for either player. Check on the flop.
Turns an 8 of hearts.
Daniel still got way the best hand. In fact, Greg Raymer cannot win.
Negreanu checks and Raymer bets 5,000.
Daniel quickly calls. Greg's been bluffing a lot.
Deuce of clubs on the river. Daniel checks. And Greg Raymer moves all in.
Immediately. This is the biggest bluff he's made in this match, in this tournament so far. It's a major bluff. He's got 10 high. Daniel's got jacks. Second pair. Pair of deuces out there. Remember, Greg Raymer raised before the flop. He bet on 4th Street, just like he had ace king or king queen, and now he's gone all in on the river. Greg's trying not to show anything. Daniel smells something.
Oh, this could be a real big mistake.
Greg didn't like to hear that. Daniel's indicated he's going to call.
I gotta go with my gut. Gotta go with my gut. This could be really stupid. I call.
Wow.
You call, you win, buddy.
How do you call that?
Great call.
What
Great
a
call.
play.
Tough one. You put the heat on, buddy. You put the heat on. Middle pair, baby. That's the one I needed. Thanks, bro. You're the man. Hey. Whew, that was tough.
Daniel Negreanu eliminates Greg Raymer and advances to the field of 16.
Yes! Oh, baby, what a big call. That's all.
Slovenia. Primoz sits down and looks at ace king of hearts.
Don't see a lot of sweaters in Las Vegas in the summer, or whatever that is.
He's going to raise it up to 3,100. Isaacs now. Author of 5 poker books. Ace, Jack, offsuit.
when Susie won the ladies' championship back-to-back in 1996 and 97. It was 7-card stud they were playing then.
Isaacs makes the call. Negreanu with pocket deuces. Reaching for chips, and he'll make the call. 3 to the flop. It is deuce 5 ace, and what a flop for Negreanu. He hits the set, and his opponents pair their ace.
Great spot for Daniel. Adamich with his pair of aces, the king kicker. Susie has a pair of aces with an inferior kicker.
Adamich first to whack, bets 7,000.
This is it.
Susie was 10th in the main event in 1998, just missing the final table the year Scotty Wynn won it all.
And Susie's going to move all in with the aces and jack kicker.
This is for 1/3 of Daniel's remaining stack. At a minimum, he's going to call. It's just a question of whether he wants to push all in.
I didn't say suck out. I said triple me up.
Well, Daniel's not moving all in. He just makes the call. Adamich now with top pair, top kicker.
All in.
And he moves all in. And that would put Daniel Negreanu at risk were he to call.
I think I got you guys crushed, but I'm not sure.
I think he has him crushed, and I am sure.
You got 3 5s? No, you don't. You don't have it. You don't have it. I think you both have ace-king.
Daniel's my hero. I'm going to treat him to Rocky 5.
You got an ace. He got 2? No.
No, he can't see the whole cards, right?
I believe he can.
Daniel's going to make the call, so both he and Isaac will be at risk.
Please.
But Daniel in great shape.
Oh, no. Jeez, what the hell do I
She needs divine intervention.
need? 2 hearts, that's what I need.
No.
No, I need... I don't know what the hell I need to save my ass.
30, 3-4.
Daniel's right. Unless there are hearts, with a 3-4, we'd have a 3-way split pot.
36.
Beat by the best.
So Negreanu and Isaacs all in.
You got hearts, too.
Turn card now is a 6 of spades, and that's going to end it. Isaacs and Adamich drawing dead. Isaacs eliminated. All right, let's go back to our featured table at the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Adam Jones from Sturgis, South Dakota, which is very close to Deadwood, where Wild Bill Hickok was killed playing poker. 7 deuce of hearts.
Wild Bill broke the first rule of poker. Keep your back to the wall.
Daniel Negreanu with pocket 9s. Daniel's going to raise it up to 2,200. Nobody gets a cheap card around here. Peter Antil with pocket 4s.
I'm sorry, did Adam Jones call with 7 deuce?
Of hearts.
Okay, he's playing Lon McCarron poker.
There's David Stuck, a truck driver from Erie, Pennsylvania. King 10 offsuit from the big blind.
Boy, I would say that's a loose call from the big blind.
1,600 more it cost him. Jones, with the raise to him, will call 1,600 more to him.
Jones calls another bet with 7 deuce.
4 to the flop. It is deuce 4, 6. Antil got just what he was looking for, a set of 4s.
Very nice.
Stuck checks. He's drawing dead. Over to Adam Jones.
Reaching for chips.
Picked up a pair of deuces. He puts in 2,800 chips.
I know Jones used to ride Bronx for a living, so he can be a little reckless, but are we kidding here?
Special with Negreanu after him. Daniel's going to raise it.
10,300.
10,300 more.
Yeah, Daniel likes the flop. It doesn't seem to threaten his pocket 9s.
Uncle.
Antil calls. Stuck folds.
That was a nice smooth call from Antil as Daniel eyed him.
Got to tell Daniel something.
Oh, Jones gets off the horse.
So heads up, Negreanu and Antil. 8 of spades, no help for Daniel, who trails big time.
And Daniel slows down. Lon, he doesn't just have a 6th sense. I believe he has a 7th and 8th sense.
At least. Antil checks also.
Antil will not let him know the strength of his hand.
Another 8 on the river. Antil earns the check mark. And he's got the full boat. Daniel checks again.
I got 15,000.
Make it 15,000 with pocket 6s or pocket 4s. Which one is it?
Wow.
He's the best.
Pocket 6s or pocket 4s, quick. Huh?
Take your pick.
It's either one. Can't beat either one, buddy. Pocket 6s, pocket 4s. Which one?
He'll break him.
But why would you check the turn? You bet the turn, I was just going to fold. I really was. I was just going to give it to him. I mean, he had to have 6s or 4s, but... 15,000. There's a gazillion in there. I'm going to fold the second best hand.
He's right.
Daniel is the only player at the table, Lon, who has access to the other player's hole cards.
The amateur had the goods on Daniel, but Negreanu was able to get away from that hand and saved himself a lot of chips with that great.
Jerry Buss is still trying to manage a big-time chip deficit to Daniel Negreanu. Queen Jack offsuit and quickly moves all in. Jerry Buss on ace-10 quickly calls.
It's the right call. He's got the best hand.
That's not good news.
Well, no, I don't have very many chips, Dan. 1,800 rounds. I got 2 rounds left. I don't call. I think you probably got me.
I don't know. I have a decent hand.
Daniel has a little hope. Jerry said, I think you finally got me. Daniel turned over his queen high like it might be the best hand.
Get lucky one time.
These two have been very forthcoming about their hole cards so far in this match. Flop is 5, 9, 10. A pair of 10s for Jerry Buss.
I got another big hand.
Right, but Daniel's flopped an open-end straight draw. Daniel has a lot of cards to win with. In fact, it's pretty close. You see the graphic, 52 to 48.
I'd open it straight against a pair.
He needs an 8,
2 of hearts, 4 diamonds.
Jack, Queen, or King.
2 of hearts, 4 diamonds.
Again,
Jerry calling for the cards he wants again.
Not again.
That would be a good
Daniel said, not again. You did it once. Don't do it
Not
again.
an 8. 8 of diamonds. That'll be exciting.
No.
Turn is the 8 of diamonds, and Daniel makes it straight.
He said 8 of diamonds, and 8 of diamonds came. Amazing. Now Jerry needs another diamond to make a flush.
Jack of diamonds.
Daniel says Jack of diamonds because that would give him a straight flush, negating Jerry's ace-high flush.
Not the Jack of diamonds.
The river, the Jack of diamonds. You gotta be kidding.
I called the 8 and the Jack. That's unbelievable. I called the 8 and the Jack. It's unbelievable. I made the straight flush.
That is unbelievable, Matt. He called the 8 of diamonds, and then he called the Jack of diamonds. Unbelievable.
I got to go buy me a Lakers.
Playing a lot of hands. 7-4 hearts is a good imagination.
Yeah, he's obviously a Gus Hansen fan. Any 2 will do. Negreanu calls. Beavers folds from the button, but Daniel Negreanu with King Jack in the small blind. He's going to complete.
It's good.
And Johnny Chan checks it with the 8-7 from the big blind.
And here comes the flop. Ace, king, and a 6. Daniel Negreanu caught a piece of this flop. Only player that did. That ace has got to scare him a bit, though.
Negreanu could make a 10 for the straight, but it's Paulson who comes out betting, and he has missed by a country mile.
And Daniel makes that call because it looks a little suspicious that Paulson entered this pot without a raise, holding an ace.
The turn card helps neither player. Daniel checks, and Paulson has got another bullet in the chamber. He fires again.
And now Daniel's got to be suspicious. Maybe Paulson has a weak ace. Just maybe.
Daniel has been around the block. No help for Paulson with that river card.
And a tough spot for Paulson. You don't want to bluff into Daniel Negreanu 3 times in a row, do you?
Fire, 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 huh? I just don't believe you at all. I'm kind of paying you off like a slot machine right here. I don't think you have anything.
And you're right. He doesn't.
Maybe ace-6, but no. If you don't have ace-6 or ace-8, I don't think you win. He doesn't have those 2 hands.
Paulson looks uncomfortable. Daniel sees it.
And he should, because Daniel has the strength to call and makes a great call.
All right, I'm playing good today.
Kid poker certainly cooking with gas.
Okay. Phew, that's what I was hoping he'd say.
Never sweeter words.
We started things off there.
Yeah, I'll go all in this time.
We did. You got the blood pumping with that all in.
It's not quite magic, Cheryl. That's just years of poker experience Daniel has.
I remembered we were on TV.
Phil Ivey folds over to Jose Canseco. Jose with Queen 8 offsuit. He'll limp in.
I don't like the limp in there. I would prefer a pre-flop raise.
Well, John Jawanda's going to limp as well, and Cheryl Hines with Queen 8 of spades.
She'll take a look at the flop.
I check.
And Daniel gets a free look at the flop with Jack 3. Four-way action here, Ali.
4 players.
We'll see a flop, and that flop is Jack 9 Jack. Both Daniel and John Jawanda have flopped 3 jacks here.
Yeah, and Cheryl has a great hand as well. She needs the 10 of spades to make a straight flush.
And she'll bet her draw right out, 15,000 now.
Daniel with a quick call, trying to trap Cheryl after flopping trips. Jose rightly out of the way.
And John Jawanda's going to push all in with 3 jacks and a king kicker. Over 90,000 in chips.
What? Oh, I'm just looking.
Cheryl folds. That would have been a great spot for her to exploit that starting chip advantage and try to bust a pro.
Instead, she quickly gets out of the way and leaves Daniel with a very difficult decision.
A good hand? Yeah, but I think your kicker's better.
You have a jack?
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm going to call you, though.
You in the big blind, though.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to call you.
That's got to be disappointing to hear for John. If only one of the amateurs would have picked up Daniel's hand, John could be assured of a call. Now, Daniel might actually get away from this.
Well, Daniel's one of the only players in the world that could back a read like this and get away from this hand.
I really do have a jack, I promise, guys. I'm not wasting time.
It's okay.
What are you waiting for?
Well, I might. You think it's good? I don't think it's good.
They want to see it back there. Look, they're awake now. They want to see it, right? Okay, so.
Like 20. Are you just like going nuts with some kind of a clean 10 of spades? You're not doing that, are you?
Well, Cheryl had nearly that hand.
I called and you moved in.
Well, Daniel knows that's a possibility. John would definitely play a draw like that very aggressively. But on the other side of that coin is, of course, a better jack.
Why did you bet? You screwed up my plan. Again.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Well, John limped in, and it's very unlikely John would limp in with any hand with a kicker less than, say, a queen or a 10.
Can't live forever.
This would be a great laydown from Daniel.
Okay, here, show you one.
Wow. Shows him the 3.
I'll show you about a 7.
King? Oh, no, the king of spades?
Well, neither player is showing each other the jack, but giving each other the benefit of the doubt here.
Sick boy.
What? It could have been a jack, right? King jack.
Go lay down, Danny.
Think so?
No.
No.
King jack.
That's enough. 5 hours, 30 minutes is not enough.
No, 5 hours is enough because
you're in the same rhythm right there.
I wanted to talk to you about this. That's why I called you. I knew I called you.
You're getting a lot of hands, kid, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? I've never seen.
Are you doing like the 6?
Let me tell you something. I've played with Daniel many times, and I expected him to come out firing, but this is ridiculous. The guy, I've never seen him play this percentage of pots.
I wanted
before.
to talk to you guys about that because we have got to go and get something done about it.
And Mike finally called. Should I tell you what that means? But he doesn't want me to say anything.
Right.
Oh, and
that
I
means
called
I'm bored
too.
to death. That's all it means.
And I'm bored too.
You know Phil's holding.
These my cards. Wow. Can I call?
That's too late. I want to see somebody get liquefied.
Yeah, this is the hand.
I want to see someone cry at the end of this hand.
God, I want to call this hand now.
For you, it's 100.
4 players to the flop.
Oh, I'm a little nervous.
The only thing I know is I know Mattisau has me beat before the flop. That's the only thing I know.
Check.
Daniel Negreanu flops bottom set.
Chucky, do you have a hand?
No, she took it.
I thought you said checky.
Yeah, that's right.
1,200.
Action. Finally.
Over to Mike Mattisau, who has a club flush draw.
Wow. Let me just think here. I thought that I had nothing. And it is nothing.
I'm thinking of a card to spice it up.
Good try.
How about a deuce? That might have been it.
Mattisau makes his flush.
Check.
Checks my friends.
Daniel checks his set over to him.
And the one and only mouth. Cutting the chips.
Boom.
He's disgusted, though.
Up to you, Daniel.
No.
No, it's up to you.
No, I know. How much is it?
35.
I'm going back to playing no hands at all.
Wow.
No pair on the board for Daniel. Mike has the best hand.
What do you have, Mike? Tell the truth.
This is where Daniel's been amazing. He's liable to call Mike's exact cards, but then he might not fold.
I think he's got a flush.
It's so basic that I probably shouldn't have gotten up out of my chair. But when Negreanu went like, whatever Mike had, he's either thinking, please call because he has a good hand, or please fold because he's bluffing. But he knows.
Superstar.
I'm just saying quite the obvious that when Negreanu went, when he put in the 5,000, if he has a good hand, he wants Negreanu to call. I didn't say.
Do you guys go to the bathroom together?
I can't. If he gets more airtime than me, it hurts me. You know, I can't let him get more. You know. Actually, I come here to spend time with Sean, and I don't care about that.
I'll tell you one thing that's interesting is that Daniel's
Well,
amazing.
what we think.
We've been talking about it the last few days in poker, how amazing Daniel's reads have been. He'll oftentimes tell somebody what they have, but then his flaw is sometimes he'll tell them what they have. He can't beat it, and he still calls. Right, then make the wrong decision to call or whatever.
I think he has a flush.
By the way, I have no prediction, but I know only one thing for sure. That if Mattisau is a good hand, he wants Negreanu to call.
Right.
Because that's obvious, right? That's all I can do is predict obvious.
Mike, just talk to you, bro. Show me a card. How about that? You got one to show me?
You got a bet. You want to bet? You take that hand, I'll take my hand. For up to 5 dimes.
Guys, you can't let them know you're betting right in front of them.
They don't know what we're betting.
You gotta go away and do that.
What difference does it make that no idea what we're betting?
Because they know who's
Phil,
smart between
up to
you.
5 dimes, you pick that hand, I pick my hand.
Then they can figure if you've got it right
yes
or
or
not.
no? Up to 5. Bet 1,000. Just take my money.
Unfair,
on the
guys. To talk about this bet during the hand right here, it's unfair to these guys. Do you know why? Because watch out.
I'm gonna fold it anyway. I'm gonna throw them away. I fold. Good.
Good laydown. Whatever it was a good laydown.
What did you show?
Don't get away from my hand.
I know what he had.
But I had a set.
Okay, guys. I'm going to make my final prediction.
What's the prediction?
That he had a flush. That's my prediction. He had a flush.
That's a nice hand.
That's my prediction. Officially. Now,
nice
I'm probably wrong, and you can just cut that out.
What's the betting going on here? And
I was betting you had a flush.
How do I know
And
that?
I was betting.
I suspect Daniel likes to play a lot of hands.
Good enough to get rid of Youngland and Lederer. Lee Nelson sees 8 deuce and puts it in the trash quite rightly.
And nobody wants to take on Daniel Negreanu here.
Action around to Magnus Persson, a Swede. He's in the big blind and he decides that there's value enough to make the call even with 10-8 offsuit.
Well, he does have 2 overcards, luckily for him.
They have both missed that. It's given a gut shot to Persson, but he won't like those spades.
And Daniel Negreanu is definitely going to make a continuation bet here.
It's legitimate for Magnus to put him on the ace. He did bet in early position, but
with a gut shot, it's worth a small call. Well, that may get Persson a free card here.
Daniel gave him an iffy look. He wants to see a river card. So nothing for nobody. And now Magnus bets. Time for Daniel to put his thinking cap on.
Daniel's got a tough call here. You know, he represented the ace, but now because he checked the turn, it looks as if Persson might have that ace. Tough position for Daniel Negreanu.
Weird. Something doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Magnus trying to look as relaxed as possible, like he's definitely winning this hand.
Daniel Negreanu does know that the story doesn't make sense.
Rule that out. I'm so suspicious, to tell you the truth.
And if Daniel is suspicious, that means he's definitely considering a call here. Wouldn't be surprised at all, one of the great readers in poker, if he made this call. And he does. Correctly so.
Yeah, same idea. it was an all or nothing call. All right, thank you.
Good one.
Thank you.
Daniel Negreanu knew he was either up against a monster or a complete bluff.
Back to our featured table. And action has been hot and heavy. Daniel Negreanu with pocket cards of 9, 8 of hearts.
A lot of pros will tell you that's one of their favorite starting hands.
150 chips from Daniel over to Naylor Harrison from Annapolis, Maryland.
Re-raise.
Ace Jack offsuit re-raises to 400. Table action. Quickly folds after that raise. Over to Sam Farha.
He's on the button.
Sam with 9 deuce
call.
Suited in spades.
With the bets in front of him, a lot of people would give that thing up, but Sammy loves the action.
Farha, Harrison, and Negreanu to the flop.
Let's chop it.
No, let's gamble. Let's have some fun, huh?
Sammy has the right idea.
The flop is 5, 6, 7. Negreanu flops a straight.
He flops the nut straight right now, and he will check it and try to get a bet from somebody. And Sammy flopped a flush draw and a straight draw, and he will bet.
1,000 chips from Farha. Daniel calls.
Easy call for Daniel, and it should be an easy fold for Harrison. He got no piece of that flop.
Harrison, though, was reaching.
I'm wrong once again.
He will make the call.
He's a Hold'em rookie, and those are cards you just get rid of.
Turn card is a king. Harrison drawing dead. Negreanu's odds improve.
That's a great-looking card for Daniel. It doesn't threaten his straight.
2,000.
He's going to raise it now to 2,000. Harrison with another decision. Finally gets rid of his cards.
Farha still on the straight draw and flush draw, and he will call.
Daniel trying to get a read on Sam. Now the river card. 5 of spades. Farha gets the flush. Oh, Daniel's hurting again.
Daniel's nut straight goes into flames on the river, and he's smart enough to check. Wow.
Action now on Sam. He's reaching for chips. And that's enough to put Daniel all in.
This is like how my whole month has been running, man. This is scary.
Daniel has a sixth sense like few do at his age.
Oh, brother, man.
Daniel agonizing that his straight is no longer the best hand.
Don't pair the board and don't put a spade up. I'm thinking like about the wrong cards. No queen, queen. No 5, no spade.
I couldn't fold here. I mean, you would have to zip me in a straitjacket to force me to give up those cards. However, Daniel's got great hand radar, and this is for all his chips. If he calls, he's out of here. He looks like he's giving it up the way he's holding those cards.
Daniel doesn't want to, and he does throw it away. What a laydown.
Had a little something on the flop.
Had a big hand, Daniel.
I had a straight on the flop, the 8, 9 hearts.
You folded the straight, Daniel?
Yeah, flopped straight. Looked like you might have had something.
I had it.
An amazing read by Daniel.
He hasn't won a pot in a while. Can play with him.
Well, Daniel's paying homage to Phil's success at the table, but he's got his headphones on and can't hear him. Negreanu's called, and Antonio Sfondiari's got pocket jacks.
Is that a 5,000 chip, Phil, under there? Under the thousands, is that a 5,000 or are those 4s? They're all thousands, right?
In case you're wondering, the pink chips are $500, the black ones are $100, whites are $5,000, the greenest chips are $1,000, and it's all real money. As Sfondiari re-raises to $12,000 on his jacks.
That wasn't too mean.
I think he wants some action here. He's got a pair of jacks. He's got the button.
How much? 12?
12,000.
Can't see Phil calling here. Phil's gone, and Daniel, not surprisingly, is going to call 8,800 more with the king 10 of diamonds.
Cuckoo or anything, so I can call. 12. I check.
Daniel checks in the dark, and the flop comes queen 6-10 with 2 spades.
Daniel flopped a pair of 10s. Antonio would have preferred if no overcard to his jacks came up. Queen probably concerns him a little bit, but it's not going to stop him from betting here. I don't think it's going to stop him from betting here. What Antonio's probably thinking about right now is how much to bet. He's got 15,000 in his hands.
He gave me the dirty look. He's gonna bet 15. You're gonna bet 15, right?
What are you gonna do if I bet 15?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna after you bet 15, I'm gonna say how much you got left. I'm not saying I'm gonna put it in, but I don't really know. But I definitely have something there, you know, that I can play with. It won't be an easy decision, I promise. Either way.
All right, well, I guess we got it.
All right. And how much you got left? 10.
50.
50? 50.
Very interesting. Daniel said if you bet 15,000, I'm going to probably put you all in. A lot of talk. Daniel was just successful in the last hand against Johnny Chan, raising with a pair of sixes. He's got a pair of tens here. Doesn't have the best hand.
Okay, here. I'm all in.
There goes the bricks again. It's a brick festival.
Or you can eat the whole shebang. That was nice to hear. He went, had me scared for a second, to tell you the truth.
Daniel now feels that he has the best hand.
For me, it was like a coin flip. I wasn't sure if I had you or not.
Ace queen.
What you got?
Queen. Yeah, ace 10, huh?
By what you have to say, my guess is you have a pair of jacks, correct? Yeah? Yeah. Must be jacks, the way he's talking.
I'm sure Daniel has made a lot of good reads in his life, but this is not a particularly impressive one.
You gotta have the queen. Can't have anything else.
Maybe.
He sees that Antonio's afraid of a queen and not that afraid of a 10. So surmising that Antonio has jacks is pretty simple at this point. The thing that was deceptive is Daniel showed a lot of confidence when Antonio didn't call immediately, and that made Antonio believe that Daniel had queens.
Yo, king queen, huh? Jack's any good?
You want to see a card?
Yeah.
I can't show you a
Come
card.
on, one
Are you
time.
crazy?
One time.
You know I can show you a card.
One time.
No, I can't show you a card. I don't have a good one to show you, to tell you the truth.
Antonio is taking a lot of time because he's trying to pick up something from Daniel.
It feels so gross when you show me a king queen.
I'll show you a card after you fold. How's that? Just in case.
Wow, look at Antonio stare him down. Daniel should not have said that.
Make you sleep better.
I don't know if Antonio's going to call, but Daniel should not have. Oh, wow,
yeah,
there we go.
Here we go.
Jacks are good.
Daniel's in trouble now.
10-9 of spades, then?
Nah, I got a 10.
Wow.
I didn't think he had a queen.
What a call.
Yeah. Gave it away at the end.
Turn cards a deuce.
No help for Daniel. Needs a king or a 10.
Oh.
King, there it is.
Wow.
Wow, it happens again to Antonio.
Unbelievable.
Antonio's done everything right.
That's him.
And he lost again.
Another bad beat for Antonio Esfandiari. This one costing him 85 grand. And by the way, he's lost his entire $100,000 buy-in.
Not too many iPods around this table. Everyone concentrating pretty hard, as you'd expect with a £1 million first prize at stake. Daniel Negreanu, Kid Poker, has picked up a suited 8-7.
And he likes to play a lot of hands from early position. So do I. Confuse your opponents. That way when you wake up with aces or kings, you're able to limp in and trap your opponents.
Well, talking about waking up with aces, Gus Hansen has got the bullets. He makes a raise. Now, the good thing for Gus, of course, with his loose reputation, it's easier for him to get paid off with a monster hand like this.
That's the great part about playing a lot of hands. People don't ever think you have anything. When you do wake up with a hand, you get a maximum payout.
Just Daniel left. Will he make the call? He does indeed, and we're going to see a flop. Sweet music for Gus Hansen.
And what a great flop for Gus Hansen. He flops 3 aces, but Daniel Negreanu has a flush draw. We could see some fireworks here.
They both checked. And now Daniel makes his flush. It's gone horribly pear-shaped for Gus. He'll need to pair the board.
Or another diamond.
It's Daniel betting out. Now, how hard would this be to lay down?
Well, I don't play good enough to lay this hand down. I don't think many people in the world do. I suspect we're going to see at least a call. Could be a big raise here.
Well, Gus did lay down 3 queens earlier. Now he is flat calling with 3 aces. He does have that nut flush draw.
Daniel's got to be a little suspicious, like what in the world could he be up against here?
Daniel now 100% on this one.
And Gus Hansen decided to play this hand a little tricky, and he might have got himself caught up. Maybe he saved money. You never know. Tough decision for Gus Hansen, but he's probably going to have to pay Daniel Negreanu off here.
Probably anybody else in the world I'll raise.
Got a flush.
Gus called. Yeah,
wow. Pretty sick.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Daniel's just sick that he was against Gus Hansen and not another player. Give him more chips.
Now I feel like I'm missing some money somehow.
Anybody else in the world, I'll move all in.
Oh, you just knew I had it?
On a turn. What? On a turn. No reason. I mean, he's gone dead or else he has me beat.
Yeah. Wow.
Talking of killing yourself, back to the Scandinavians. Now got a running ante of 300, small blind 1,000, big blind 2,000, and Daniel Negreanu has picked up fairly lowly cards. It's a suited 5-3, but good enough for him to make an investment.
And Daniel right here doesn't want any action. He just wants to steal those blinds and those antes. Oh, he might not get away with this thievery now.
It's the second time he has run into aces. Last time he made a flush. Well, he's got suited cards this time.
And Patrick Antonius is making the appropriate re-raise. Put the pressure and decision back on to Daniel Negreanu.
Daniel says, I'll see a flop. He's going to need to be lucky. It's given him an up and down straight draw and top pair. But of course his 5's dwarfed by Antonius's aces.
Now, this looks like a monster flop for Daniel Negreanu. If I'm Daniel, I'm thinking this has got to be my gin flop. It's a great flop for me.
You can't hope for much better if you come in with a 5 high.
Mullen.
And Daniel pushes all in and insta-called by Patrick Antonius with 2 aces.
As soon as he got the call, Daniel would have known he's probably in trouble.
And Daniel calls it a race. Well,
yeah, suited.
I think he was calling for an ace actually there.
Oh.
That would give him the wheel.
I wish you had kings.
Just don't put a 6 though. There's a big swing on him having kings.
Huh? Huge. Gives me extra 4 hours.
So Daniel needs to hit an ace or a 6 or a 5.
Or otherwise, Daniel Negreanu is out of this tournament. Oh, wow. And saved by the ace on the river. Daniel Negreanu doubles through Patrick Antonius.
And Negreanu is bulletproof against trip aces.
You've sure been lucky today so far.